Well, good evening, fans, and welcome to Causeway Bay, right in the heart of Hong Kong, China, for tonight's final game of the second window here in Group B of the 2026 BCL Asia East. We're live here at the Southern Stadium as South China Athletic, our hosts, will be taking on the champions of Chinese Taipei's Plus League, Taoyuan Pauian Pilots. Well, South China Athletic, of course, coming up with a very big, emphatic victory in their second game against the new Taipei City Kings, and tonight they'll go up against a very tough opponent as well from Chinese Taipei. Well, the opening game, we saw our hosts go right to the wire against Pack Broncos, but in the end, it was Ian Miller who finished with 27 points, only for then South China Athletic the very next day to, like I say, set the tone early and let everybody know that they're not here just to make the numbers. Well, there are the standings of both Groups A and B. As we saw in the opening window in Jakarta, Indonesia, in Tangerang, it was Dewa United who went undefeated against both High-Tech and Johor Southern Tigers. And of course, depending on how this game goes tonight, well, we could see Taoyuan Pauian Pilots pick up their first victory, would put them joint with Sac Broncos, or Cas Broncos, my apologies. Well, these fans have been magnificent. They've really embodied and personified the true meaning of BCL Asia East. Of course, the atmosphere has been simply breathtaking every single game, and of course, you have to give some big shout out to also the Taoyuan Pauian Pilots, who have also fans who have made the journey here to Hong Kong, China. Well, so far what we saw in the first two games, one thing that is for sure, there are the fans who've made the journey from Chinese Taipei, and glad to see the national team jersey being worn with pride, of course. Because Chinese Taipei will be in action for the third window of the FIBA Basketball World Cup qualifiers that will take place at the end of June. Because that will take place right after the final BCL Asia tournament. But going back to what I was saying, South China Athletic, well, they have done a good job in both of their games, in both the defeat and victory, outscoring their opponents in terms of bench points. Well, a lot of returning players too. Jurgi Kamenos' team coming into this campaign. Remember, they made it to the final last season, only to lose to the Broncos in Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia. But speaking with head coach Jurgi Kamenos, this team is ready. And of course, they will be coming in here respecting their opponents, knowing just how good they are. Well, two key players you want to look out for, the likes of Justin, number 6'9", Lu Zijiang, who does play for the Chinese Taipei national team. Because there's their starting lineup. Well, we'll take a look at that very briefly momentarily, but also the return of Alec Brown and the addition of Jonah Morrison, who also features for the Chinese Taipei national team. And they also have William Martino, who was also a naturalized player for Chinese Taipei at the 2022 FIBA Asia Cup. Well, it's been a spectacular showcase so far here from our host, South China Athletic. It's been led by Kevon Davenport, who in their opening game against the Broncos, he had nearly a triple-double. 20 points, 13 rebounds, and 6 assists, but also led by Glenn Yang of the Hong Kong China national team. While in their victory against new Taipei City Kings, the story was indeed about the local future of Hong Kong China basketball. There you saw Kevon Davenport. We're going to see him come out very soon. Well, you want to get used to the name. It's number 23. And where you wear that number, well, there is legendary Quan Chun Tobin. Here comes the future of Hong Kong China basketball. 21 points by Calvin Tsang. He was 7 out of 10 from the field, 2 out of 2 from the perimeter. And like I said, in that dominating performance against the Kings, they will take a lot of confidence knowing they're going up against the champions of Chinese Taipei's Plus League. Well, there was the player of the game, Rodrigo Ndela, finishing with a double-double of 22 points and 13 rebounds, because he was actually 3 out of 3 from the perimeter. While Yip Yo Pong, also a veteran of Hong Kong China, the final player, probably has the most magnificent story. Dominic Gilbert, born in Hong Kong, China, raised in Australia, but made in Croatian basketball. Head coach Lo Yiting, you probably remember him when he featured for Hong Kong, China at the 2017 FIBA Asia Cup in Beirut, Lebanon, where he was teammates alongside the great Duncan Reed. Well, enough about national team basketball. Now it's about the very best clubs. In this Group B, we have both champions of Chinese Taipei's Plus League and TPPL, as well as the champions of Mongolia. Well, we should introduce our 3 referees for tonight's game. And we're very proud to say that we have 3 of the very finest. Well, from Malaysia, we have Oh Xiong Chan. From Thailand, we have Prita Muang Mi. And from Korea, we have Kam Chae Chun. Well, our commissioner and technical delegate for tonight's game is the great Olushola Kolendoye. A big thank you to all of our officials here in BCL Asia East. You've seen them at FIBA Asian Cups, FIBA Basketball World Cup qualifiers, even the FIBA Basketball World Cup. And tonight, they'll do a magnificent job here between South China Athletic and the Taoyuan Pauian Pilots. You kind of wonder how these two teams will go about their starting lineups. And, you know, as I said, I was speaking with head coach Jurgi Kamenos before the game. He has a lot of respect for South China Athletic. He understands the threat they pose to the Taoyuan Pauian Pilots. So he's not coming into this game thinking that this is a walk in the park. Pilots will go with Milner in the backcourt along with Pai, along with Lutzen Chang. Well, it's a big lineup with both William Artino and Alec Brown. Well, judging by that starting lineup, you're going to think here, Jurgi Kamenos is definitely going to want to play a spread-out game, but also with a lot of size in the paint, because both Alec Brown and William Artino, if you've seen them play for the national team, they possess a very strong perimeter threat. South China Athletic, Kevon Davenport will be the natural power forward, along with Rodrigo Andela. Yip Yo Pong as well in the backcourt. Well, Dominic Gilbert is probably going to have the duty of picking up either Alec Brown or William Martino. So the point guard tonight, Glenn Yang, will be coming off the bench for South China Athletic, which does leave the 21-point future. I like to call him Hong Kong Steve Nash, and that indeed is Calvin Tang. Well, Kevon Davenport has got to have a big game here tonight. It's a very tough opponent. Remember, Taoyuan Pauian Pilots retaining many of their star players from last season. The team that went all the way to the BCL Asia Final Four, the BCL Asia East Final Four, I should say. Now it's been, of course, upgraded to BCL Asia East Final Six, which will be the top three teams of both groups A and B. But it was a close game they had against the Broncos in Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia. Both the Pilots and Broncos then went on and qualified for the final tournament of the BCL Asia 2025 in Dubai. And both of them had very successful campaigns in their rookie debutante seasons. Well, if it's one thing we've been so impressed with the basketball atmosphere here in Causeway Bay, the heart of Hong Kong, China. They love their basketball here. And what better way? I mean, they've had teams like Hong Kong Eastern reach at the East Asia Super League. And now, of course, South China, the representative, is the #1 team from Hong Kong, China here in the BCL Asia East. But basketball is very much a part of the everyday fabric for these fans. But you just see the fans in orange. Many of those Taoyuan Pauian Pilot fans actually live here in Hong Kong, China. And speaking with Ryan Chen, the voice of the Plus League, the one of the two top domestic leagues in Chinese Taipei, they have an international fan base in both East and Southeast Asia, the Pilots. Well, it's going to be an exciting game. And like I say, top three teams here in Group B, a very tough group indeed. The Pilots and the Kings, champions of Chinese Taipei's Plus League and TPBL. South China Athletic, champions of Hong Kong, China's domestic league. And we've already seen the Broncos, the defending champions of BCL Asia East, come here and pick up a very convincing, well, I'd say a very close victory. Well, fans, we welcome you yet again here to the Southern Arena. And if you love the BCL Asia East, make sure that you follow BCL Asia on Instagram, X, and Facebook. And remember, this is only the end of the second window. Right after this, we're heading to Taipei. Of course, we've had great viewership online, many fans in the building, a lot of opportunities provided by this magnificent competition. So if you want to get involved, contact your local organizing committee, also known as the LOC. And if you're a basketball journalist, content creator, get involved. Come to Taipei, come to Bangkok, go to Johor, Malaysia, and even join us in Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia. Welcome everybody. Alec Brown of the Pilots jumping this one with Andela of SCA. I think that's going to be a violation. Well, that possession is going to go to the Pilots. I think the thing is the ball hadn't reached the summit before Andela went to tip it out. Well, Cedric Miller now only in his second professional season. Of course, he started in Europe last season. Alec Brown. Oh my goodness! Jayo already. Holy moly. Didn't see that one coming. The Twin Towers of Alec Brown and Will Artino connecting with the alley-oop. And it didn't take long for them to set the tone early here in Hong Kong, China. Gilbert goes right at Alec Brown. Artino comes up with a rebound. And Andela intercepts it. Twisting, turning. Coming up with his own rebound, bumping, and finally getting it to go. Oh, Andela's a good mismatch, especially for both Artino and Alec Brown inside the paint. Pai here at the point guard. Guess he had a magnificent campaign last season in BCL Asia East. Artino wants to go in. Got finish. Fights for his own rebound. Tries again, still can't get it. And a foul is going to be called here, I think, against William Artino. I think Jürgen Kamenos, head coach of the Pilots, just telling him, look, play on. Two good looks, but that's great defense by Rodrigo Andela. Andela thought the foul was on him, and here's the look at the Jayo alley-oop as Alec Brown connects with it. Milner matched up here with Davenport. Andela trying to find Davenport. That's going to be a foul on the ground. That's already the second team foul against the Pilots. That's going to be on Cedric Milner. Those Pilots will be flying back to Taipei tomorrow. They have a game in the Plus League on Sunday. So quite a busy schedule, and that's how it should be for all the teams competing here in BCL Asia East. For that matter, we're going to see all the four teams playing double games against both Pilots and the Taipei City Kings when we head to Chinese Taipei. Because those games commence on the 14th. First game will be Pilots versus Kings. Sang goes up, buries the Sanford Joe. Well, he hit two of them against the Kings. Could he have a good game tonight? Woodson Chang. Now they go into a triple handout. Pai quickly going to the middle. Brown, pick and pop, puts up a three, and responds with string music. Spent a brief bit of his time playing in the Spanish ACB, now loving life here in Chinese Taipei. Pai picks the pocket of Gilbert. Pilots want to run. Woodson Chang, he'll fire up a three. That time just unable to connect. Because Justin Liu, as many know him in the international community, performed very well for Chinese Taipei in both windows 1 and 2 of the World Cup qualifiers. Davenport now going for another three. That's not going to go as Brown comfortably comes up with a rebound. Pilots looking to run everything through a bull screen. Pai penetrates, finds Artino. Oh, he missed again. Well, that's 0 for 3 for William Artino. He's got to finish. Gilbert finds Davenport. I think Alec Brown may have got a fingertip to it. And Pilots counterattack. Woodson Chang matched up by Yip Yo Park. But again, they go to Artino. Davenport tries to stand strong. And again, good help side defense. Well, here comes South China Athletic. Unable to finish. Well, that's good transition recovery defense by the Pilots. Both teams locked in at 5 apiece here in the first quarter. Justin finding Brown. Brown pivots around, goes to the mid-range. Andela coming up with a rebound. Pilots having to work for every offense. South China Athletics defense just proving tough to break down. If you'll bump for the mid-range. Because one problem South China Athletic are going to have tonight is the ability to contest for offensive boards against the big lineup. Brown finding Milner. Has time, space, puts up a three. Pai battles for it. Brown made his last three. He'll go for another one. Well, they are a volume three-point shooting team when they played in BCL Asia East last season. Because they're going to have to work for every single three-point shot tonight. Calvin Sang just trying to get to the bucket. That's good defense by Pai. Davenport, a lot of contact. And that's going to be 2 free throws coming up for Kevon Davenport. Because he's quite a versatile player. Naturally a 3 when we saw him play in the BCL Europe, but it's kind of stretched out to a 3 stretch 4, and occasionally when they want to go small ball, we do see him play the 5 role. Hong Kong China's Glenn Yang subbing into the game for the first time. Because in 2023, 24 he played in Chinese Taipei, so he's very well aware of the talent of many of these key players. Davenport in his first 2 games averaging just under a double-double with 20 points and 9 rebounds, as well as 4 assists. So that goes to show, as I said, the versatility of his game as he makes the second free throw. South China Athletic lead by 1. Pai penetrates, finds Brown, third three-point attempt, and the Sanford show is good for downtown. Well, you don't want it to be Sanford showtime with the Pilots. Well, the officials just having to change the basketball. Not quite sure what happened there, but maybe a bit of excess sweat on the ball, but something's happened here. So our referees have come together at midcourt. They're just discussing something. Might be a slight issue that we need to take care of. I think there's a problem with the substitution. I think this is Alec Brown is going to have to go to the bench. I'm not quite sure what's happened here. If it's maybe a little bit of blood somewhere, or yeah, blood on the hand. So very well spotted by our referee, Cam Che from the Korean Basketball League. Knowing Alec Brown, he didn't want anybody to notice that one. Brown already 8 points. All of Pilots 8 points so far here in the first quarter. 2 of them have been Sanford Chols. And 1 Guanlam, 1 alley-oop time. Davenport caught a double team. And that's going to be the 4th and final team foul against Pilots in. What's interesting, South China Athletic haven't even committed 1 foul in the first quarter. Well, Lee Cha Kang, that's a mismatch. Somebody's got to come over and double team. Well, double change coming in for the Pilots. Jonah Morrison, along with Pilots Chen Chiang Shuang. I think we have another issue here. I'm not quite sure what's happened. I think it's looks like we're ready to get things back underway. Calvin Sang will inbound this. South China Athletic trailing by 2 points, almost halfway. Glenn Yang wide open in the corner. They go to Dominic Gilbert. Davenport finds Sang. Andela wants to back down against Artino. Little jump hook. Well, it was good offense, but simply better defense. Pilots looking to extend their lead. Milner misses last 3. And it's another Sanford choke. Well, that's already the 3rd one for the Pilots. Because now they extended to a 5-point lead. Pilots now 3 out of 6 from downtown, shooting 50%. Davenport going straight to the bucket. And there was no stopping KD. Well, he is the BCL Asia East KD, as now Milner goes for another 3. Well, what is going on? It is raining Sanford Chos. Well, they have brought the rain from Chinese Taipei. Well, Sang made his last 3. He's got to make another one. And now both teams exchanging 3-point field goals. Well, he's made as many 3. Well, Glenn Yang picks the pocket. And now he's going to cut it down to a 1-point deficit. And it's a 5-0 run for South China Athletic. Because that's what you got to give Glenn Yang credit for. The intense man-to-man defense. Artino has struggled so far, but finally gets one to drop. Well, it's undeniable. William Martino really working hard this evening, but just Rodrigo Andela is just such an elite post defender. Is now Dominic Gilbert. Big offensive rebound. KD wide open. Goes for another three. This one's up, and KD buries it from downtown. Well, he's flooded with a triple-double already here in BCL Asia East. And now we're all locked in at 16 apiece. Chun being heavily defended. Well, Luke getting this one in the corner. Tries to force his way in. Good defense by Calvin Sang. South China Athletic want to run. Gilbert gets bumped, finds Yang in the corner. Deep three is up. While KD with a big offensive board. Put back, no good. But still SCA have it. Just over 3 minutes, they can take the lead. Time winded down. Yang's got to make a choice. KD made his last three, goes for another one, and nearly got it to drop. Well, now Lou will go for another one. And Martino tips it in, and second chance opportunity points could be an X factor tonight between these two teams. Because he was great at the 2022 FIBA Asia Cup in Indonesia. Only one game that these Chinese Taipei players will want to forget is the Freddie Ibrahim buzzer beater from half court. Well, here comes Martino, and look out below with a big-time two-handed jam. And that's what you have to appreciate about the champions of the Plus League. Forcing turnovers, but quickly converting into fast-break buckets. Calvin Sang. Nowhere to go here. A little bit out of control, Andela. That's going to be a foul on the ground. Well, that's a foul on Andela. Slight push in the back when attempting the rebound. It's only his first personal foul. Well, it's quite a shifty move there from Calvin Sang, but Martino, Pilots soaring in transition. Pilots lead by 4. Wants another turnover, and a foul is going to be committed. Well, that foul does send Dominic Gilbert to the free throw line. Tries to cut this down to a 2-possession deficit. Well, unable to hit the first free throw. If you compare the free throw percentages, they were 8 out of 17 in the defeat against the Broncos, and that was a big aspect indeed. It much better against New Taipei City Kings, 11 out of 16. Gilbert makes the second one, because he almost had a triple-double as well. He actually needed 2 assists against New Taipei City Kings to get to that triple-double. And that was a statement victory from South China Athletic against the defending champions of Chinese Taipei's TPBL. Well, good interception. That's going to remain Pilots' ball on the baseline. Because not quite sure if we saw a Spain stack Spanish pick and roll being executed, but that time SCA just reading that one effectively. Chan will inbound this. Finds Lou. Another foul committed, so this is poor because, well, good for the Pilots, but it's just going to send Pilots straight to the free throw line, I believe. Well, no, I'm incorrect. I have it wrong. The SCA, it's only the second team foul. It's actually Pilots who put South China Athletic into the penalty. Rounds made 2. Finds Jonah Morrison. Now the foul's committed, so Morrison will go to the free throw line. Well, great vision by Alec Brown, just identifying Morrison. It's a good cut, actually, so much space inside the middle. Well, Jonah Morrison missing the free throw because he's only never featured at a Continental Club competition, FIBA Asia Champions Cup, or BCL Asia East, or BCL Asia, but in 3 occasions he's played for Chinese Taipei's national team. 2021 FIBA Asia Cup qualifiers, as well as 2025. But most recently, World Cup. Lang goes in. Good block by Chen. And now here come the pilots. Finding Brown. Help side defense. Can't get it. Brown tips it away for an offensive board. He's made 2 Sanfeng shows, but unable to make a third one. The CA want to run. A little bit out of control, but that's going to remain. Should be South China Athletic ball, I believe. Yep. Deep in the corner on the sideline. This will be inbounded. Over 1 minute just to go here in the first quarter. South China Athletic want to go 2-1. Gilbert kicks out. Side contested 3. Corner. And another one goes flying. Well, both teams coming out like a house on fire. Really making it rain tonight. That levels things up at 20 apiece. Pilots could go 2 for 1. Chan trying to go for the fadeaway. Gilbert comes up with a rebound. SCA want to run. Gilbert looking to kick out, finds KD. Well, he's got the strength advantage. Goes in, and a foul is going to be called against Alec Brown. Well, that's the advantage of having Dominic Gilbert, because he possesses not only the strength to battle with bigger bigs, but also, you know, the awareness of how to read a defender and attack that first foot, excuse me. Lo Yiting, of course, just most recently retiring from playing professional basketball here in Hong Kong, China. But another missed free throw for Dominic Gilbert. Pilots could get it back with 2.8 seconds difference between both game and shot clock here in the first quarter. Second one good for Gilbert. Well, Glenn Yang reaching. They had that one foul to give. Any more fouls, they'll send Pilots to the free throw line. Two seconds difference. There's a baseline penetration on the foul call, but doesn't get the and one. But it will be another trip to the charity stripe here for the Pilots, because Pilots haven't made a free throw yet this evening. They're 0 for 2 at the moment. Well, free throws only missed by Jonah Morrison, but chance now to reclaim the lead. It's currently Quan Tayo, who featured last season in the BCL Asia East campaign. Levels things up. Second one no good. Brown battles for it. And a jump ball's got to be called. So South China Athletic will get it back, but only 2.4. Let's have a look at the replay here. That's the missed free throw. That's a good call. Both players tangled up, so right decision indeed. Brown just heading to the bench. Yogi Kamenos doesn't want him to pick up a second foul here in the first quarter, because Pai, his starting point guard, does have 2 fouls, so we'll probably see him in the second. Will nearly throw it away, and that is the end of the first quarter, as nothing separating South China Athletic and the Taoyuan Pauian Pilots here in the final game of Window 2 Group B of the 2026 BCL Asia East. Well, it's been an exciting first quarter, to say the least. The Pilots currently at the moment 4 out of 9 from the three-point line, while South China Athletics slightly better, 4 out of 7. It has been a Sanfeng show party at the moment. Well, we'll take a look at some of the key highlights as we'll be back in just under 2 minutes. Welcome back, everybody, live here in the Southern Arena in the heart of Hong Kong, China, Causeway Bay District. It's currently 21 apiece here between the champions of Hong Kong, China, and the champions of Chinese Taipei's Plus League, the Taoyuan Pauian pilots. Woodson Chang back into lineup. I'll tell you, over good defense. Well, the foul has been called against Tsai. Let's have a look at the replay here. There's a dive on the ground, and well, the foul's been called, so that's going to be a sideline possession coming up to the pilots. Woodson Chang, usually one of those reliable backcourt players, but Tsai just got to be a little bit more aware of the defensive pressure. That's going to be another foul. Well, that time Leung Shihua is going to get called for this one. You got to love the atmosphere here tonight. These fans here at Hong Kong, China, so passionate about the game of basketball. Calvin Sang subbing back into the lineup here for SCA. So Tsai Choi Kwan, who earlier made one three-pointer, going to the bench. Pilots get it back. There's the penetration again. What a rejection! Well, Leung Shihua with the denial. Have they called a foul here? Let's have a look here. Watch Leung Shihua. Foul has been called. So free throws coming up for the pilots. I'm not sure what further discussions happen here. I mean, I think they're trying to decide who the foul is on, so and also decide who the free throw shooter is. So they have to go to the monitor now just to, I guess, identify. So the foul is going to be called against Leung Shihua. Now, do they need to look for a potential upgrade? That's going to be the next question. We're going to find out very soon. This is now an official review. So this could either be to identify who the free throw shooter is, who the fouler is, or doesn't upgrade. So no upgrade. It's going to stay here. 2 free throws coming up. Free throw shooter will indeed, assuming that the free throw shooter is going to be Chen Chiang-Shuang. So he's now currently stepping up to the free throw line. Well, he's never actually featured for Chinese Taipei's national team. He did feature back in 2018 for the U16 national team. Because that time in the group stage, only 3 games, he averaged 13 points and almost 10 rebounds per game. But yet to make a debut at an Asia Cup qualifiers or FIBA World Cup qualifiers for Chinese Taipei. Cedric Milner checking back into the lineup here for the pilots. Pilots not putting on any full court pressure. South China Athletic trailing by 2 at the moment. Andela coming up that screen. Sang now, he's made 2 threes, goes for another one. A little too strong as Brown comes up with it. Well, Davenport Finds Andela, and he throws it down with one hand. Not the first time Pilots have turned it over from a defensive board. South China Athletics defense. It's imperious, suffocating. Artino wide open. Andela tries to block, but doesn't get there in time. It's now William Artino moving up to 6 points. Yang working the screen with Andela. Davenport finding Sang. South China Athletic wants to get it to an organized set. KD hesitates. Now goes for the three. That's a little short. Comes up with his own rebound. Finds Gilbert. Andela. Another pump fake, and that's going to be a foul in the... Oh, no. The foul in the process of shooting. So Rodrigo Andela will go to the charity stripe, and I think that's... Artino just unfortunately falls to the pump fake. That's why it lands on him. Let's look at the turnover. Good hands by KD. It was actually, I wonder if Alec Brown is going to get the assist. I highly doubt it. Andela makes the free throw. Averaging 16 points, along with 11 rebounds, a double-double in the first 2 games. Because is he able to get that same accolade tonight? I think he would much rather come up with the victory. He's already got 6 points and 4 boards here in the first half. Woodson Shang in and around the defense, slicing and dicing. Putting on the hot pot mode. South China Athletic still trailing by 2. Gilbert wants to go right at the defense. Oh, I wanted Andela to go back door. Pilots can extend. Oh, a little bit too quick. Transition. Gilbert has it. Brown follows. Gilbert goes in and levels things up. Alec Brown couldn't get there in time. Well, both teams do a phenomenal job of whenever they force a turnover, they quickly get out of transition. Well, Davenport, look out below, and Dojia Umgoy, as they say in Hong Kong, China. Yogi Kavanos has got to call timeout. A solid 4 run coming from South China Athletic. The atmosphere here at Causeway Bay, the heart of Hong Kong, China. It's going wild in game day 3 here of Group B of the BCL Asia East 2026. Another look at the replay. Look out, clear the runway. Kevon Davenport, AKA KD of the BCL Asia East. Well, it's been a good start so far here from both teams. I mean, Taoyuan Pauian Pilots probably would have felt that they could have built a substantial double-digit lead at this point, but I think you've got to understand here, 11 points have already been scored from the turnovers of Taoyuan Pauian Pilots. 11, while Pilots have 0. Also, South China Athletic, 9 fast break points, 7 second chance points. Both teams, 12 points inside the paint, and it's only a 2-point deficit. Woodson Chang, nice dive, finds Brown. The foul is going to be called. Oh no! That's going to be a turnover, and Alec Brown is going to get a technical. Well, a moment of frustration, but unfortunately, he's got to get teed up, and I don't know if it was one technical or a double technical. I think it was one, but well, he's still on the court. Well, let's have a look here. Well, he goes to the ground, and I guess, well, that's where the tentacles come from. But he is too valuable for this team. Alec Brown already 8 points so far here in the game. Joint leading scorer, along with both Kevon Davenport as well as William Martino. Glenn Yang makes a technical free throw. Well, due to the fact that it was a turnover, South China Athletic will get possession. Luxin Shang trying to heavily defend Glenn Yang. It's a nice little Chinese Taipei, Hong Kong, China battle. Davenport caught in a double team. Got to get rid of it. Zhang trying to work some magic. Someone's got to get open now. Andela got to shoot it. 24-second violation. And that's great defense by the Pilots. Well, that's how you know this is going to be a very good game. Pilots might ride the storm, but even though they're riding the storm as we speak, they only find themselves down by 3. That just goes to show the level of excellence in Chinese Taipei's Plus League. Brown goes for another one and make that Sangha Sanfun Cho his 3rd three-pointer. He's cooking tonight. Tatsai Zuofan. Calvin Sang trying to find Dominic Gilbert. Yang finding Adela. Yang got to move. That's a pull-up from 18. This one's up. Glenn Yang comes up with it. Another kick out. Davenport wide open. Sang hesitates, finds another one, and make that his Sangha Sanfun Cho, his 3rd three-pointer. Well, he had all the time in the world to get set. Pilots thought they had possession, thought they were in transition. Milner working with Alec Brown. Brown's got 11. Wants to go up against Dominic Gilbert. There's a reach. Well, great save by Milner. Now Pai. Nice pump fake, and there you see the Guanlam, the big-time dunk. 13 for Alec Brown. Dominating here on both ends of the floor. Still only 1 point separates these two teams. Well, and that's going to be a push-off called against Kevon Davenport. So Pilots will get it back with 5:03. Just over halfway to go here in the 2nd quarter. Timeout is going to be called. There's another look at the replay. Both teams heading to their benches. Now, this guy's got all the time in the world to get this off. And that's his 3rd three-pointer of the night. Confidence is terrifying with the future backcourt player of Hong Kong, China, Calvin Sang. Well, isn't it incredible that given that it's only a 1 point lead to South China Athletic, that they are actually really dominating in a lot of areas. The only thing that is equal between these two teams are points in the paint. But as I already alliterated earlier, 2nd chance points going in favor of South China Athletic. 10 fast break points to 2. 11 points off turnovers to 0. Pilots at the moment, right now, really making the most of the three-point shooting. Martino goes in, and now he moves up, indeed, to double figures. Both William Martino and Alec Brown combined together for 23 points. Pilots lead by 1. SCA just trying to build something. Zhang kicks out, finds Sai. Sai in the corner again. Another three-pointer goes flying. South China Athletic making it rain for downtown. Now Lutsen Chan on target. Offensive rebound, but that's going to be a backcourt violation. Oh, no. Well, they caught it now. I think the reaction from the home crowd, you got to love the atmosphere. The passion for the game of Lanzhou, Lam Kao, as they call it in Cantonese, of basketball here in Hong Kong, China. They've got to love, I mean, you've got to love it. These are passionate basketball fans. Not a reset at 24. Sai made his last one, goes for another one. Miller comes up with the rebound. Pilots can level things up. Jonah Morrison will go for a deep one. That's not going to count. Well, Kevon Davenport in the open floor. Bumps against Morrison, a lot of contact, so he'll go back to the charity stripe. Davenport 8 points already this evening, along with 3 rebounds. Goes to SCA, South China Athletic, 6 out of 9 so far from the charity stripe. They've done a monumental better job of getting to the free throw line compared to their opponents. Well, he's definitely been, in my mind, probably one of the better players, scorers in this group. Because as we've already seen in Group A, DJ Cooper, not to mention Freddie Leash. And as I've said in other games, he has that experience of playing in BCL Europe and FIBA Europe Cup. Gilbert comes up, offensive rebound. Zhang has made 3 threes. Not going to get this one. Morrison coming up with a rebound. Martino finds Jonah Morrison. Hesitates, pulls into a mid-range, and tucks that away, leveling things up at 36 apiece. Joining the defending Plus League champions this season, Jonah Morrison. And Della coming up with a high screen. Zhang hesitates, goes himself off the bank, and that is Steve Nash in a South China Athletic jersey. This kid's gonna be great one day. Morrison turning it over. South China Athletic want to extend their lead. Gilbert trying to go himself, tries to use the bank, and the bank is open by SCA's Croatian sensation. Born in Hong Kong, China, built in Australia, but made in Croatian basketball. And Lutsen Shang not getting, well, not enough contact there to justify a decision. So it looks like a double change is coming in. The Pilots subbing both in. Kwan Taoyu, along with Lee Cha Kang as well. Now you hear the chants of the fans. Davenport bumps. Wow, a lot of contact. Too big, too strong, and KD is just too good. 6-point lead. Martino tries to go quickly. Rebound has been secured. Gilbert goes behind the back. Tries a bit of bully basketball and finishes inside the paints. They're running wild all over Causeway Bay. And just listen to this home crowd here in Hong Kong, China. Incredible scenes. Remember, these two teams will be meeting again in just under a week's time in Taipei, but let's listen now to Yogi Kamenos.
If you see the left, we want to red.
Well, that is Steve Nash in an SCA jersey from Hong Kong, China. Calvin Sang, remember the name. A great take by Dominic Gilbert. Because it was Gilbert. Quite physical there, but able to get the mid-range. Well, everybody enjoyed the game tonight. A great atmosphere at the Southern Arena. Well, Southern Stadium, I should say, actually, but Pilots need a bit of momentum. They've got to build some identity here in their offense. Because at the moment, what's really hurting them, as we've already seen, they've committed 13 turnovers already here in the first half. And the biggest stat that's undeniable, from those 13 turnovers, 15 points have been converted by SCA. Taoyuan Pauian now playing primary point guard here for the Pilots. Tino. That's gonna be a foul on Della. So this is good for the Pilots. They'll go straight to the free throw line. Well, it's great work by Kwan Tayo, just going quite aggressively with the show defense, or the switch, if you like, from Rodrigo and Della. Well, the home crowd just welcoming, indeed, Kwan Tayo to Hong Kong, China, very graciously. Four out of 7 collectively from the free throw line this evening for the Pilots. Makes them both. 6-point deficit, 1:51 to go here in the second quarter. Gilbert trying to build something. Very static offense here from South China Athletic. Goes up from 18, a little too short. Kwan Tayo comes up with it. Wow, good defense by Calvin Sang. Now they want to run. Side, behind the back, KD. Oh, baby! A bit of showtime. SCA transition basketball. Well, they try to go inside again. And that time they try to find Lutsen Chang, Justin. Because Pilots are getting frustrated. Here's another look at the showtime. Sang came up with it, found Sai, and the sublime prime time behind the back dive as KD finished. Kwan, well, pays the favor. Oh, Chundaba, Tayo. Well, Kwan Tayo just said, anything you can do, I can do better. What a showcase we're having. That's the Plus League champions. Wide physical here for KD. A foul's on the ground. Not a bad foul, though, because that's going to be the 4th and final team foul. So Davenport not going to the free throw line. Baseline possession coming up for South China Athletic. And you've got to appreciate the mismatch. Lee Cha Kang doing the best he can in that mismatch. Calvin Sang going to the bench. He'll take a breather. Glenn Yang checking back into the game. Well, they're finding Davenport. Good defense by Lutsen Chang. Now here come the Pilots. Lutsen Chang kicking out. Kwan Tayo. Because if they went quicker, they could have gone for a 2-for-1. That's highly unlikely now. Milner goes in, avoids the block, but Tino goes in for the follow-up. Guka said Shesheni. Timeout is going to be called. Still a 2-possession deficit in favor of South China Athletic, but 25.8. They'll try to muster something for the very final possession and play of the first half. We'll try to head down to SCA's bench to see what the message is going to be from Zhao Lian, Yi Ting Lo. Let's listen now. Well, here it was. That's the Jayo dive. In deep behind the back. And here was the follow-up by William Martino. I mean, he's had a good, started off a little bit rough, missing his first three. But since then, Martino, 14 points, 5 rebounds away from a double-double. He's come ready to play. Well, you just wonder who they're going to put the ball in the hands of. So I would highly imagine and assume that this is going to go in the hands of Glenn Yang to try and go for a very high ball screen with either Dominic Gilbert or Andela, or maybe even a Spain stack pick and roll, a Spanish pick and roll. Spread the floor, put Sy in one corner, put Davenport on the other side. Make a lot of space here. One final shot here. Well, here it comes. Andela sets that screen for Glenn Yang. Sy hesitates, goes in, avoids the block, and what a BEA, beautiful play. But still this time for the Pilots. Lee finds Milner, puts it up, and the Sanford show doesn't go. But what an exciting first half of action we've had here at the Southern Stadium in the heart of Hong Kong, China's Causeway Bay District. SCA lead by 6. They want to go 2-1. And they want to defeat another champion from Chinese Taipei. Well, fans, nothing separated either of them at the end of the first quarter. But SCA have a slender lead by 6 points. We're going to leave you with highlights, and we'll be back in under 15 minutes. Well, fans, welcome back here to the Southern Stadium here in Hong Kong, China's Causeway Bay District. Currently, it's game day 3 of window number 2, the first window actually of Group B, and what an exciting atmosphere we've had so far. The champions of the Plus League, Taoyuan Pauian Pilots, currently trailing by 6 points, and at the moment, it has been a 3-point cookout. Well, William Martino actually right now leading the way here for the Pilots. He has 14 points, 5 rebounds away from a potential double-double. While South China Athletic, well, they made it rain, shooting a very impressive 46% from the three-point line, 6 out of 13. And there you can see the traveling fans who've made the journey from Chinese Taipei. Well, you either see a sea of red, and then you see a group of orange, and those orange fans, well, last season, they saw their team win the Plus League Championship against Beast Lin and the Taipei Fubon Braves. We're going to begin things here in the second half. Possession to South China Athletic. And fans, if you're watching live, make sure you follow BCL Asia on all social media platforms, X, Instagram, and Facebook. This is the final game of the second window. We're heading to Taipei in 4 days' time, where the new Taipei City Kings will take on Taoyuan Pauian Pilots. If you want to get involved, there's a lot of opportunities. Contact your local organizing committee. And if you're a basketball journalist or content creator, come get involved. Get your accreditation. Hashtag BCL Asia. Well, the key thing here for Pilots, you've got to keep going to William Martino. Now, they do have the return of Alec Brown, so a big lineup for the Pilots. Calvin Sang, having already knocked down 3 three-pointers in the first half. He'll be the primary point guard. Now trying to run things through Dominic Gilbert. Gilbert pump fakes. Little step to avoid a block. Well, Kevon Davenport comes up with it. Tough pass here to Rodrigo Andela. A lot of contact. Counted. I'll say it again. Born in Hong Kong, China. Raised in Australia, but made in Croatian basketball. And now killing it here in the BCL Asia East. Well, he is SCA's Croatian sensation. Nearly had a triple-double yesterday. 2 assists shy of getting to that accolade. Well, he's the beast of the BCL Asia East. This time, no problem converting the three-point play. 9-point lead currently to SCA. Pilots have got to build some momentum, because it's been the plethora of turnovers in which Hong Kong, China's SCA has been able to convert into transition buckets. Lutza Cheng going in. Rebound secured by Dominic Gilbert. Well, here comes Kevon Davenport. Just very indecisive what to do at that point, but he can get cooking when needed. Averaging 20 points per game so far here in his first 2. Putting on the moves, and that time taking Alec Brown inside the paint. See, if you compare how SCA did 2 days ago against the Kings, well, Pai goes in, unable to finish. And Della comes up with a rebound. Yep, finding Gilbert. Caught in a double team. Gilbert's got to get rid of this one. Now throws it away to Pai. Pai's fouled. That foul is going to be called on the ground. Well, Pai is probably one of the quickest point guards you're going to find here in BCL Asia East. And many backcourt players last season, they struggled to deal with his very intense, explosive speed. Now, I think the question now with the 3 officials is, was this foul committed on the ground, or was it in the process of shooting? So they're going to go for an official review. They'll go to the monitor. Well, we're going to have a look at the replay. There's the foul. Well, we're going to decide very quickly from our 3 officials. Because the foul is on Calvin Sang. Well, there's where the initial contact comes. That's where the foul is. Because I think there's also probably the review to see if this needs to be upgraded. So not necessarily to see if it's in the process of shooting, but because Calvin Sang comes from the side. But a decision will be made by our two officials very soon. Well, upgrade indeed. Unsportsmanlike foul. So this means Pai Chung will go to the free throw line for 2 shots. And this is good for the Pilots because they'll get it back. Now the echoes from the SCA fans. Because Pilots have only 5 out of 8 from the free throw line as Pai misses another one. I think one thing is going to be established after this Group B window is that the Southern Stadium here in Causeway Bay, it's a tough place to come and play. The atmosphere, it's tough. Second one good for Pai Chung. 10-point lead still to SCA. Cedric Miller getting that back pick. Pai has space. Brown's made a few threes tonight. Not going to get this one. But Gilbert just saves that one from going out of bounds. Can SCA push this one? Because they did put the ball in the hands of a primary ball handler. Well, that's another costly turnover. Make that turnover number 9. And here comes Alec Brown with a 2-handed rim rocker. Oh, Alec Brown now indeed moving up to 15 points. He's the game's leading scorer ahead of William Martino and Kevon Davenport. Pilots slowly trying to get themselves into this. Gilbert has got to make a choice here. Time is winding down. Has to go for a fadeaway mid-range. And there you have it. Sensation called into action. He loves that mid-range. Anytime he's guided by a bigger center. Pai finds Martino. And a foul is going to be called by Rodrigo Andela. Andela's got to settle down here. They're up by 10. Last thing you want here is an overreaction. Well, here's another look at the two-handed transition throwdown by the former Estudiante when he played in Spain. Andela goes to the bench. That's foul number 3, so I don't think we're going to see him for the remainder of the third quarter. Martino just getting the first free throw to drop. Because it will be interesting to find out if William Martino is going to be in contention in the future for Chinese Taipei this coming summer for the third window of the World Cup qualifiers. Knocks him down both. Glenn Yang back into the matchup here just to be that primary ball handler as they'll move Calvin Sang to the 2. SCA trying to build something with the dribble handoff. Davenport. And that's going to be a foul. Well, that's going to be foul number 3 against Alec Brown, I believe. Let's have a look here. Well, you can see coming down with both hands. I mean, that's clear as daylight. That's a foul Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, any day that ends in a Y. Kevon Davenport, as we like to know to call him as KD of Hong Kong, China. Glenn Yang gets it in bounds. Davenport going back to Calvin Sang. Sang finds Yang. Goes baseline, another kick out, finds Dominic Gilbert. Good defense by the Pilots. Pilots want to cut it down to 6. Lutz and Zhang goes for it. Had a wide open look at good effort by KD. Gilbert, oh, behind the back, no look dime, showtime, SCA transition. Hong Kong, China fast break at its finest. Back to a 10-point lead. Brown finds Milner in the corner, Lutz and Zhang. And finally gets the Sanford show. That's a crucial three-pointer by the Pilots. And that actually becomes their 6th three-point field goal of the night. Just over 30% from downtown. Davenport, he'll try another one. A little too short. Lutsen Chang wants to go quickly at Glenn Yang. Goes to the pump fake. And in the end, a 5-0 run from Justin Lutsen Chang. Chinese Taipei's finest. Now it is a 2-possession ball game. Almost 4 minutes played here in the third quarter. Because you have to remember, it's also the third game in 4 days here for SCA. Well, Kelvin Tseng had a good look, with the paint protection by Alec Brown becoming the solid insurance policy. Foul called on the ground, only the third team foul for SCA. Well, here again, sensation time behind the back, no look. Hong Kong, China, fast break basketball from SCA. You gotta love it. Oh, no need to go to LA for showtime anymore. Just come to Hong Kong, China. Come to Causeway Bay. Brown trying to be physical. Good defense by Davenport. Brown twisting, turning. Doesn't get it. Tito offensive rebound. Finds Milner. Gilbert tries to keep in front, but a foul is going to be called against Kevon Davenport. And that's going to be foul number 3 on KD. Spelling trouble already for SCA, because both Andela and Davenport each have 3 fouls. So if you're, well, this is a tough choice here for SCA's head coach, Lo Yi-Ting, because do you take, well, he's put them both on the floor. And both of them indeed have 3 fouls. Calvin Tseng is going to lead the game. So Tsai Choi Kwan checking into the lineup. 5:32 to go. Because the stats starting to get a little bit similar so far. Pilots have been able to score 12 points from the turnovers of SCA. Remember, Andela's got 3. Oh, nice backdoor pass, finding Pa Yao Chung. Now it's a potential 1-possession game. That 11-point lead has indeed disintegrated. Gilbert wants to ISO here. Goes baseline, finds Davenport. A lot of reaching here. Time is winding down. Gilbert's got to make something happen. And that is going to be a 24. Oh no, traveling violation called. Tough one there, because when you reach the end of the shot clock, you got to go to your go-to player, and that's KD, Kevon Davenport. Davenport has got to take matters into his own hands, because now Taoyuan Pauian Pilots can cut it down to 1, maybe cut it or level things with a Sanfeng Cho from downtown. Ice water time, maybe. That's only going to come from a 3-pointer. Everyone a 3-point threat. Well, there you find Alec Brown with a 2-handed rim rocker and the back screen. No switch, no bump, and no help side coming. Now it's a 1-point deficit. Pilots slowly but surely finding their way back in it. Andela flashes high, goes. Now he was 3 out of 3 last night from the 3-point line. That's only a 2-pointer. Pa Yao Chung behind the back, finds Tito, step through. Great defense by Andela. Pilots have a man down. Can SCA take advantage? Well, they throw it away. Good defense by Lutsen Chang. Well, here comes William Tito. Hangs, well, in the end, able to finish under intense pressure in transition. Heavy defense coming from Lutsen Chang. Pilots have 2 fouls to give. Dang gives it back. Davenport's got to go quick. Caught a double team. Lung goes for it. Finds Davenport. Oh my goodness. Nearly took a body with him, but unsuccessful. Well, there's a 3 that could give them the lead. And there you have it. Sanfeng Showtime. Jidian La. Well, Jidian La. It is Sanfeng Showtime from the Taoyuan Pauian Pilots. The tables have turned. The champions of Chinese Taipei's Plus League have a 2-point lead. Let's head down to SCA's bench to find out what Lo Yiting has to say.
Early. Stop on screen.
Well, the change in fortunes, the Plus League champions at the moment, and Cedric Miller. Let's hear what coach has to say. Well, I'm sure one thing he's going to want them to do is, they're going to go deep in the shot clock. You got to find that go-to player. And he's got a lot of options. So, well, he's still got Davenport on the floor along with Vandella. But somebody, like even Dominic Gilbert, the time is winding down. You got to ISO. You got to create something. Maybe go bull screen with Glenn Yang. Over 3 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Davenport still got it. Comes up with it, no. Well, finally just about gets it to go in. And there you have it again. Second chance opportunity points. And make that 12 now for SCA. Lee Cha-Kung back in the lineup. Martino kicks this one out. They'll go for another one. And now it continues to rain. I'm telling you, it's a Sanford show party. The champions of Chinese Taipei, they bought it. They bought the Plus League magic. Well, now Glenn Yang, he'll go for one. Well, he had 20 points that opening game. They got to get in more good looks. 3-point lead currently to the Pilots. Trying to find Artino in the paint. And Mandela's got 3 fouls. Can't afford to pick up a 4th one. Well, they'll go for another one. Davenport battles for it. Luke comes up with it. SCA want to run. Well, Sy made a few in the first half. Not going to get this one. Well, here it comes. And almost got it, but an offensive rebound by Kwan Ta-Yo. Well, the only thing you could say, Taoyuan Pauian Pilots, they just want this game a little bit more. Well, a lot of holding there. Well, look, child. Now, here we go. Look out below, fans. Hang time. Elevation. That time, Milner, the Pilots, took off. And tomorrow, they're taking off, flying home. As in 4 days, they'll be taking on the new Taipei City Kings. 7-point lead. Glenn Yang. Good look. Andela battles. Well, Glenn Yang has got to keep on shooting. He can't afford to stop. They need some points from him. Well, Jonah Morrison checking into lineup. Willie Martino will go to the bench. Great game from Martino. 18 points, leading the way so far here for the Pilots. Well, Martino also 2 rebounds away from a double-double and 4 assists potentially away from a triple-double tonight. Chen bumping, twisting. Kicks this one out to Lee Cha-Kang. Time winding down on the shot clock. Finds Jonah Morrison. Ball goes out of bounds. 9/10 of a second. Now, there may be a change in decision here, but the officials will come together to decide. Well, that's going to go back to SCA. Now, given 58.5 seconds here, a 2-for-1 potentially could be on the table for the home team. A lot of pressure coming. Kelvin Sang just keeping this one under control. Well, gets a hard foul. That foul's going to be called on the ground. Not the worst foul in the world, because only the 13th foul, so Pilots still have one to give. That's a good foul in my mind. It's a good hard foul. Sideline possession coming up. Sensation back in the lineup here for SCA. That's going to be a traveling violation. Well, right idea. Caught it off a curl screen. Wanted to attack. But the momentum just taking him a little too far. So now the 2-for-1 is reversed. Now it's in favor of the Pilots. Now if they want to go quickly, get something quick, try to build a double-digit lead going into the fourth quarter. There's the penetration, and that's going to be a traveling violation. Just lost his balance. Maybe a few little air miles right there on that travel. But the good thing for the Pilots, if they get one stop here, they can actually have the final shot of the third quarter. Lee Cha-Kang coming out. So head coach Yogi Kamenos trying to go big as Lin comes into the lineup. Pilots have one foul to give. Calvin Sang just dealing with the pressure, gets the slip screen action from Mandela. Well, still has it, got to make something happen. Take by Gilbert, elevates. Good look, unable to finish. Remember, SCA don't have any fouls to give. Here come the Pilots. Chun goes baseline, twisting in the corner. Another one. Lin tried to tip it, and that's the end of the third quarter. Taoyuan Pauian Pilots, the champions of the Plus League in Chinese Taipei, have turned this game around as they lead by 7. Well, we're going to leave you with some key stats, leave you with the best highlights of the third quarter, but we'll be back in just under 2 minutes. Well, welcome back, fans, live here at the Southern Stadium in Causeway Bay, Hong Kong, China, where the game has been turned around. SCA currently, who are leading by as many as 11, now trail by 7. Well, William Martino, that time, finding Milner in the corner. Milner, well, he started cooking so far here in the third quarter. 14 points, one of 3 players in double figures. Final quarter coming up. Final quarter of window 2 of Group B. Bit of Spanish pick and roll. Martino getting the back screen. Brown popping out to the perimeter. SCA had that covered well. Milner. SCA switching. Gilbert trying to match up with Brown. Well, a lot of contact, nothing given. Gilbert wants to run. Blinds get Glenn Yang. Because they've got to take a possession. Yang, quarter. Another good look. It's on target. And here comes Juan Tayo, out of control, missing everything. Well, he's got to initiate contact. Calvin Sang. Goes in, little teardrop. And I like to call this man the future of Hong Kong, China. Steve Nash in an SCA jersey. He's got the potential. He's going to be a great elite player one day. Maybe see him at a FIBA Asia Cup, maybe at a FIBA Basketball World Cup. But for sure now, it's got to be BCL Asia 2026. Brown trying to find Artino. Remember, Andela's got 4 fouls. Chun, corner 3. Another sap for Cho. And it's back to an 8-point lead. And that is beautiful ball movement from the Plus League champions of Chinese Taipei. Well, that lead is now stretched to 8 points. Still plenty of basketball to play here in the 4th quarter. And as I said, SCA, they've got to take it possession by possession. Calvin Sang that time drawing the blocking foul. And that's going to be the first foul of the 4th quarter. Well, this is what Kwan Taoyuan is good at. But he's got to try to keep Calvin Sang in front of him. Kwan Taoyuan is probably one of the best backcourt defenders here in BCL Asia East, which we did see last season. Well, they got to get it in bound. Andela tries a bump, goes in. Good defense by Artino. Pilots don't need to rush anything. They have control of this. SCA switching. Andela matched up with Milner. But now Artino wants to back down against Gilbert. A lot of reaching. Artino goes in and extends it to a 10-point lead. Well, they're having their way at the moment. Gilbert kicks out, finds Glenn Yang, another 3. Well, if you grew up in the 90s, it was hang time. But if you're Gen Z, right now, it's Glenn Yang time. Yang got his first 3. Could that be the start of the beginning for something for him? Time winding down. Well, too much on it. Andela comes up with it. SCA can push. They have numbers. Calvin Sang finds Davenport. Pump fakes. A lot of contact and a hard foul. So KD will go to the free throw line. And that's going to be foul number 4 against Alec Brown. Well, here was the 3-pointer. It's got to be Yang time indeed. And it's not high school, this is the pros. This is BCL Asia 2026. Because the thing about Glenn Yang, you got to remember, he's used to some of these players because he played in Chinese Taipei back in 2023-24. Because also had that experience playing in the East Asia Super League this past season. So, right now he is Hong Kong, China's #1. And that 1 3-pointer, that's got to spiral his confidence to help him get his team back into this game. Davenport misses the free throw. But he still can cut it down to a 6-point deficit. Both miss. Gilbert comes up with it. Little prayer. Andela can't finish. Wasted opportunity for SCA. Nearly 3 minutes played in the 4th quarter. Kwan Taoyuan hesitates. Finds Jonah Morrison. No look time. Oh, Chundaba. Gotta love it. Shi Huan. Every backcourt player for Yogi Kamenos can play 1 through 3. Everybody's got that creativity in their game. Sai pulls up. He made some in the first half. Not going to get this one. Pulls a Davenport. Still can't finish. And SCA just can't buy a bucket at the moment. Another 3 in the corner isn't going in. Well, Andela comes up with it. Oh, Kevon Davenport finds Dominic Gilbert. Bumps. Patient passing. There's the reach. Well, nothing given. Time winding down. Calvin Sang goes for it. Comes up with his own rebound. Tries to go off the bank and finally gets one to go. They still have control of this game, Pilots. Just need to go through the motions. Kwan Taoyuan gets on that screen. Sai recovers. Patient passing. Now Pauian goes for a deep Hail Mary. SCA now looking to run. Gilbert stopped in his tracks by Morrison. Because they need to build something here. Try to cut this down to a 2-possession deficit. Well, they've got to stop turning it over. Milner comes up with it. Sy recovers. And it's another turnover. And another one. And here comes Milner. Well, meets him at the summit, and that's going to be foul number 4 on Kevon Davenport. Well, let's have a look here. No look dime. That's a foul for sure. I mean, he meets him at the summit, a lot of contact. So Calvin Sang is going to lead the game. Glenn Yang is back in the lineup. We should just hope at the moment that Milner's okay. He's just favoring that shoulder slightly. But he missed the free throw. Well, they can still make it an 8-point lead here for the Pilots. Second one no good either. I just wonder when coming down from that play if there's a bit of a knock-on effect. But he's had a great game so far, Milner. 14 points. Can South China build something? Gilbert pump fakes. Finds Yip. Glenn Yang. Final seconds. Yang crosses. Pulls up, goes for a deep one. Well, he's only just come off the bench. Because he had to take that one. Pauian Chang just being matched up by Glenn Yang. Well, it's going to be a turnover. Morrison flash, free throw line extended. Pauian Chang sent it into the accredited media zone. Well, a few ex-pros in the building tonight here in the VIP section, but unfortunately, they're not suiting up for the Pilots. So another costly turnover for Chinese Taipei's Plus League champions. .429 left. SCA haven't scored in the last 3 possessions. Calvin Sang back in the lineup. Glenn Yang also in the backcourt. They've got to build something from this offense. Still a bit of fatigue is definitely settling in. Sang, pump fakes, kicks out to Gilbert. Trying to find Davenport, a lot of contact, gets the one. And now he'll go to the free throw line and try to cut it down to a 2-possession deficit. Well, I think the cheers are coming for the &1 for sure, because it's been a few possessions since they scored. Davenport tonight, of course, has had a relatively good game, but the problem is Alec Brown is fouled out. That's a big loss for the Pilots, but they still have William Martino. No other foul trouble here for the Pilots. Pauian Chung finds Jonah Morrison. Woodson Chang only with 7 points. Now they go to Martino. Remember, Andela's got 4 fouls. Little turnaround. Gilbert comes up with it. Now they can cut it down to 1-possession deficit. Gilbert tries to bully his way in, but that's going to remain SCA basketball. Well, here's another look at the replay. Gilbert goes in. Well, the atmosphere tough here tonight, no doubt. Gilbert's got to keep this alive. Still plenty of time on the shot clock. Gilbert pulls up, a little flat. Andela comes up with it. Davenport thought about it. Finds Yang, corner 3. And a big rebound by William Martino. That's now Atino double-double, 20 points, 11 boards, 3 assists away from a potential triple-double. While Lutzen Chang goes in, can't finish. South China Athletic come up with it. KD trying to bump. There again, and a foul has been called. So Davenport will go to the free throw line. What's the bump there? Pump fake. It's on Jonah Morrison. It was good defense by Milner. Morrison attempts to block in. To be fair, I'd say it's not a bad foul for Morrison because that potentially could have been an and-one. And Davenport's had his inconsistency tonight from the free throw line. Well, Davenport missed another free throw. Still though, they've missed 7 free throws collectively, just like the game against the champions of Mongolia. Because they could have won that game. They could have been 2-0. They want to be 2-1. They don't want to go 1-2. Yogi Kavanos watching on anxiously. His team holding on to a slender 4-point lead. Missed again. So maybe not a bad foul by Jonah Morrison. What can the Pilots build here? Atino. Well, good hands, another turnover. Well, here comes Gilbert. Gilbert wants to go right at Jonah Morrison. Left hand, Andela. Pump fakes. Putback is good. And the big man from Cameroon, you've seen him play in the FIBA World Cup qualifiers. Now, keeping his team in the BCL Asia East group stage. Atino twisting. Tries to find Payao shot. Jonah Morrison fires a deep one. Just can't get it. Good save by Atino. The tip-in is good. And the big beast. Well, he's had a hell of a game tonight. Double-double. Nearly triple-double tonight. And that's going to be an unforced turnover. Just win. Now, there's still plenty of basketball left, and that goes to both teams. Pilots know too well. A 4-point lead with 2:01 is nothing. I think a much-needed timeout is going to be called for these two teams. Well, for them, it's Operation Hang On. And I think they've come here realizing, again, speaking with head coach Yogi Kavanos, he had all the respect for the opponents tonight, South China Athletic. He's been watching the games closely. He knew it was going to be a battle, a very tough test indeed. And still, there's plenty of basketball to play here. 2:01, only leading by 4, but Pilots do have it back. Because you have to remember, Kevon Davenport has 4 fouls. So he's got to, if this game potentially goes to OT, they'll want him in the lineup. SCA do have fouls to give. That's a plus for them. Justin Lutzen Chang gets a high screen from Atino. Goes in, tough angle, and Jayo Taoyuan Pauian Pilots. 6-point lead. Big time play by Chinese Taipei's finest. Here comes the double team. Davenport under pressure. Finds Glenn Yang. Nearly 90 seconds to go here in the 4th quarter. Zhang, he's made a few threes tonight. Not going to get this one. Just over a minute left here. Can Pilots hang on? The team that made it to the final of BCL Asia East last season. Oh, it's going to be a turnover. Well, they have numbers. Gilbert bumps. Good defense by Artino. Well, William Martino just said, hey, no pain, no gain. Let's have a look here. Good defense. Oh, ball. Well, I think a head coach's challenge is going to be called by Yogi Kamina. So players will go to the benches, and the officials now will decide, did this take the last touch off Artino, or did it come off of Dominic Gilbert? We'll find out very soon. We'll go to the monitor with our referees. Well, we'll have a look at the review here. A decision has been made. Unsuccessful head coach's challenge. So it's going to remain with South China Athletic. Got to build something big here. Here's another look at the angle. $18 seconds on the shot clock. Because they don't necessarily need to go for a three-pointer here. Could be a potential 3 for 2, but whatever they go for, they're going to have to defend down the other end. Pilots want to get a stop. Got to get it inbound. Andela receives this one. Yang, quick three, corner. Oh, baby! I'm telling you, it's Yang time. Second three of the game. Game on tonight here at Causeway Bay. And listen to the atmosphere. Traveling violation. Well, South China Athletic will get it back. 52.8. And just listen to these fans. Incredible atmosphere here at the Southern Stadium. Big moment coming up. Want something good for sure. Still plenty of time on the shot clock. Gilbert attacks, goes in, gets rejected. Well, big time block. And that's the defensive presence of Artino. Another thing here. A lot of time, no, not a lot of time difference. No, I think the shot clock had started. That's the problem. So I think they need to decide how much time needs to come off the clock. That's the key thing. Well, the referees will go to the monitor because they just need to find out, with 27.6 left, how much time difference is there going to be between game and shot clock? Because, let's have a look here. There's the block by Willie Martino. And that's where the possession is gathered by Jonah Morrison, just above 35 seconds. So a tough one indeed. Well, fans, if you're loving the game tonight, remember we're heading to Chinese Taipei. We'll be there in 4 days' time, where the Pilots will take on the new Taipei City Kings. Of course, all teams in this group will end up facing the Kings and the Pilots, so it's going to be a very exciting window. Remember, the opportunities here in BCL Asia East. Get involved. Contact your local organizing committee. If you're a basketball journalist or content creator, get your media accreditation and come join us in Taipei. So I think they're just trying to decide now between the 35.2 and 27.6. So I think the time has been narrowed down. So it looks like 10.6 seconds difference from what we can see at the moments between game and shot clock here at the moments. So that's plenty of time to try and get one final stop. Now, if you're South China Athletic, although you have fouls to give, you don't want to foul because that's going to just minimize the time difference. Have to play very disciplined defense as best as possible here. Well, Payao Chung will inbound it. Finding Lutsen Chang. Pilots have been good so far here in the second half. Really having turned this game around. Lutsen Chang, 5 seconds. Got to go quick. Has to put up a Hail Mary. And Della comes up with it. South China Athletic, they need a three-pointer. That's going to be a kickball violation. And a timeout is going to be called by Lo Yiting, head coach of SCA. 5.2 to try and send this game into overtime. Well, you couldn't write this storybook ending, but it's not over yet. And it's just like the game against the Broncos. And what's interesting is SCA convincingly won against the Kings, but against both teams finalists of last season's BCL Asia East Final Four, they played them right to the wire. Well, an unbelievable atmosphere. What a win, and a big shout out to the local organizing committee of just, like I said, they've done a fantastic job of hosting all 3 games here in Group B of the BCL Asia East 2026. And like I said, next, we are heading to Taipei. Of course, it's always a great venue for not only BCL Asia East, but also FIBA Asia Cup and World Cup qualifiers. And that's what international basketball is all about. Can head coach Jurgi Kamenos get one final stop? It's going to be inbounded sideline. And just listen to the fans here at the Southern Stadium in the heart of Hong Kong, China, Causeway Bay. 5.2. Kelvin Sang will inbound this. Everybody's a three-point threat on the floor here for South China Athletic. Well, here we go, fans. Fasten your seatbelts. Are we going to OT? Got to get it inbound. Well, they find Andela. Yang, pump fakes, goes for it, almost got it. And the Pilots hang on for the win. Well, they got a good look in the end. But the Plus League champions of Chinese Taipei, they'll get their opening win of the 2026 BCL Asia East. Well, a magnificent game indeed. But I will be going courtside to have an interview with the player of the game. Well, a magnificent game indeed. And it looks like our player of the game will indeed be Taoyuan Pauian Pilots number 9, Cedric Milner. Well, we'll get an interview with him very soon. Well, actually, I stand corrected. I'm actually wrong. I apologize. The player of the game indeed is William Artino. So I'm going to be heading courtside to go meet him now. Well, now in the player of the game, William Martino. Very hard-fought battle. At what point did you guys realize you're going to get back in and take the W?
I mean, they came out from the start. We knew that they were a really strong team, fighting team. We watched a lot of film the last couple of games, and we came out a little slow, and so then luckily we got back into it in the first half, and then the second half was a dogfight, and I mean, just a lot of respect to them for the week they had. They had a great week.
When do you think this game was won? Was it won on the defensive end or the offensive end for you?
I mean, defensive probably. When it's 79-76, that means no team scored more than 20 and a quarter. So that's great defense on both teams, especially at this high of a level game. So that's defense for sure.
First of all, welcome to the BCL Asia East. What can you say about the atmosphere and the fans here in Hong Kong, China, and Causeway Bay?
You know, I played in the ABL back in 2018 through 2020, and every time I played in South Horn, it was always wall-to-wall like this, and it's one of the loudest arenas in Asia. It's not that big, but they're all right on top of you, and all these metal, it echoes off that, and I mean, there's not a lot of places that are more fun to play than this. So much respect to the Hong Kong fans. Keep showing up for your guys' country. The way basketball's growing out here, I'm happy to see it. So just keep doing what they're doing.
William Martino, thank you so much. Congratulations and all the best. See you in Taipei.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the post-game press conference for the Basketball Champions League Asia East game between South China and Taoyuan Pauian Pilots. Pilots beat South China 79 to 76. Away team Pilots coach Yugi and player Cedric Miller Jr. has joined us to. So may I ask you to switch off your mobile phones? The press conference will be conducted in English. So, coach, can you please give us some comments about the games?
Well, really good win for us. I take this. Really good win for us. I think that the beginning of especially the first half, we have a lot of problems on the rebounding. Too many second chance points. They have 10 at the halftime. Too many turnover, 15 if I don't remember bad at the halftime. This gave us the control of the game. On the halftime, we talked about that. Was not about what we run in offense. Was a little bit more to adapt to the intensity that they were putting, how much they put pressure on the ball. So many turnovers that were like even not forced. A little bit we were not with the rhythm of the game. But third quarter, the team showed the character, starting from the defense, controlling way better the rebound. We reduced our second chance points. We reduced our turnovers on the third quarter. Once we have this, we have a chance to run some fast breaks. I think that come back to the game really early, beginning of the quarter, help us a little bit to mentally be more focused. And last quarter was a big battle, 15-11, both teams playing a lot of defense, really physical. Maybe control a little bit better the game because we were with a good rhythm. We have some turnovers, some fast breaks, not really clear fast breaks with advantage that we have a turnover there. And we give them the chance to back, but we control way better the rebound. And for me, the key was on this. These last two games, they scored a lot on the offensive rebound. Second half, we reduced, and having way better rebounding offensively for us was easier to play. So happy. The BCL last year when we started in Malaysia was really tough to start the first game. These windows are not easy. South China played really aggressive, and of course, I thank you to all these people that I saw with the orange jersey of Pilots being in Hong Kong supporting us. Really happy to see how the Pilot brand is also in another locations of Asia and not only on our home.
Thank you, Coach. So, Cedric, can you also give us your comment about the games?
Yeah, I thought it was a hard-fought game from the beginning to the end. Like Coach was talking about, we had to come together at halftime and put a limit on their offensive rebounds, our turnovers. Just had a lot of small mental mistakes. Wasn't too much worried about the ball going in the rim, but just upping our intensity, give them more effort, making sure we box out, and communicating more on the court. Because if we just play hard, I think everything will fall into place.
Thank you. I will now give the floor to the media to ask questions in English. I want to also ask the media to first state their name and the media company they are representing. So, any questions from the floor? If not, here are some questions about for Coach again. Sorry. One more question. Can you talk about the big third quarter of the Pilots today, and what is the biggest adjustment your team have done?
The first, like I said, was a little bit defensively understand a little bit better where we have to put the attention, but controlling the turnovers because we give them too many fast break points. So also start from there, but especially on defense, the intensity and the rebound. Understand better the matchups, how Gilbert or Davenport or Andela attack the rebound. Once we have Will, Alec, and Cedric controlling better the rebound, is the moment that we really break the game and feel finally the rhythm.
Thank you. And one more question for Cedric. With this dramatic comeback win today, how much confident booster is this for your team and you guys, especially knowing the next BCL Asian window will be go back to Taiwan in the next week, Taipei in next week?
A lot. I think that's kind of been one of our biggest identities the entire year. Being able to fight hard throughout the whole 40 minutes of the game, up our intensity, and more importantly, make sure we listen to our coaching staff because, these guys won't steer us wrong. They've been telling us the whole year, as long as we play hard, as long as we fight, we'll have a good chance.
Thank you both. And this is the end of the first part of the press conference. We will be back soon.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the second part of this post-game press conference. We now have our home team coach Eating Law and player Cheng Cham Yun. So Coach Ting, we would like to have some comments about the game.
First of all, I think Pilots are a tough team to play, you know. They have a size advantage compared to us. So this student, we just want to play an up-tempo game. So, but the point is we make 16 turnovers, and then we only make 8 shots out of 17 on the free throw. That's why these two things killing us in the game. So I think in the future we have to still work on our execution of the play. So everyone knows his role in the team. We just play solid defense and more focus in the game. Sometimes it's just out of focus. Thank you.
Thank you, Teng. And Yun Zai, can you give us some comments about the game too?
今日就係我哋球隊即係上半場做得好好嘅就係防守進攻都揾到自己節奏啦，但係下半場就可能有段時間 turnover 多咗，咁所以我哋就俾人哋反超，即係反擊翻上嚟啦。同埋最主要都係我哋即係嚟緊每一球進攻都要把握得好啲咯，係啊，每一個 set play 每一個進攻我哋都要做到最好咯，係啊，同埋我哋 focus 翻啲細節位啦，係。
Yun Zai is talking about at the first half, they are doing better, but at the second half, in the defensive side, they are some lost focus. So they need to get back in the next game and then do it better. Do we have any question in English? Our media on the floor.
I'm Alvin from HKJCJSR. We know that the next BCL week is coming soon. The Alma team is going to have an away game in Taipei. What the team will prepare for the away games in Taipei? Coach Ting, thank you.
Since we are a new team in BCL this year, so after these 2 games, I think the Taiwanese team, they will scout us, and then I think they will make good prepare for us. So we just mentally and physically just be ready for the team.
Any other questions? So one more question for Yun Zai. Despite to the loss, the team also fought back in this game and made it a closer game. After 3 games, what are your takeaways from this first window of South China, and what you can bring into the second window when you go to the away game to Taipei?
呢3場其實最主要都係即係個對抗性啦，即係攞到即係知道個強度係非常之高啦。咁同埋自己要學即係點樣去調整啦，即係每一個 set play 每一場打得好打得唔好，點樣去調整翻自己。咁嚟緊即係作客，咁我哋就會再即係部署翻我哋嚟緊要加強嘅嘢啦，同埋心態上都要調整翻好啲啦，係啊。
Yun Zai is talking about they need to learn how to adjust to the play and the team and by themselves when they go to the away game. Thank you, Coach. This is the end of our press conference. Thank you.
Pauian.